racism, niggas can't get rid of me. Picture me backing down from niggas that's featherweight. One uppercut and I watch you levitate. Two-piece of man, then I watch them dissipate. Saw the worth to God, the nigga you love to hate.
Swag Science back at it. We got Keith Thurman versus Robert Guerrero for the main event for the PBC boxing card this weekend on NBC. Brought to you by Mr. Al Heyman, behind the scenes mover, shaker, doing everything. You know, I feel like this could be a pretty good year of boxing. Let's hope everything turns out good. Now we got that out the way, little introductions. You know, let's go into the actual fight. I feel this is a pretty quality matchup. I'm a big fan of Thurman, but I like to look at fighters objectively, whether I'm a fan of them or not. Not really too impressed with Guerrero lately, although I really liked when he was coming up back in the day when he was at featherweight and at the lower weights. I felt, you know, he could have been something special. He didn't really turn out all that great. As far as this matchup with Thurman, he is the best name opponent Thurman is facing. And probably you could say overall, but Guerrero ain't never really beat too many people, you know, like that. So I don't really feel like it's a step up, but for Thurman, it's a step up. Because now he has somebody that we could really compare him to afterwards when the performance is done and we all get to analyze the situation. And kind of like how with the whole Diego Chavez fight, where, yeah, a lot of people used to bitch and moan about Thurman having a hard time in that fight, especially the first half, but at the end of the day, he came and got the knockout victory, and dude was undefeated back then. Now as we looking at Chavez, and we're like, you know what? He wasn't that bad, you know, he's a solid fighter. He gave Brandon Rios everything he could handle. Shit, I thought he was beating damn Brandon Rios' ass before that damn incompetent fucking ref stopped the fight. But anyways, as far as Bradley, Chavez didn't look too bad against Bradley. I think Bradley got jobbed a little, you know, he should have won, but you know, he didn't look too bad, so that just put it in perspective. So now we're gonna look at that with Guerrero and Thurman. Guerrero, southpaw. Thurman, you know, he could fight a southpaw. There's no big deal with that. But he's an experienced southpaw. Power's alright at welterweight. Nothing serious. I don't think he has the power to really hurt Thurman unless he catches him by surprise. You know, something he doesn't see coming. Footwork is like horrible. You know, Guerrero fights like he's moving in quicksand. Can't really cut off the ring. Work rate's decent. He's a fighter. He'll gun it out with you. If you seen that fight with he had last year, I think it was at the StubHub Center with the Japanese dude, the little Ippo Macanucci. Macanucci, I mean, this little nickname we give him. But y'all know who I'm talking about. I think it's Kamagai, one of them names. But he went life and death with dude. And you know, you coming off of a Floyd fight, you supposed to be at least, you know, a solid B+, B level dude, and you know, he didn't really look great. You know, he had like a shootout with a guy who wasn't that great himself, so gotta rebound from that. He got hit way too fucking much in that fight. So now when you look at him with Thurman's a real banger, and Thurman could really hit, could punch. He's one of the hardest hitters at welterweight. So, you know, Guerrero just can't run in there with his no defense, have himself, and expect to just walk through Thurman. So he's gonna have to come in there behind an educated jab, and I think his best bet is to find that range to make Thurman back up, because Thurman, he's not really a good inside fighter. He'll hold, or he'll try to keep it mid-range or long range so he could get full extension on his right hand and the left hooks, and sometimes he'll come under there with an uppercut that you don't see because it's not in your peripheral vision. So Thurman could get sneaky, but he's athletic and he moves. He's always looking to get his footwork in place to land the best possible shot, and that's good. But where Guerrero could capitalize on that is stepping into Thurman's comfort zone. You know, making him get out of his own range. And when Guerrero gets in there, you know, you're looking at the headbutts, you're looking at elbows. He's a rough customer, and it's those little digging uppercuts and hooks that I feel he could really wear Thurman down with. But, you know, for that type of plan to work, you gotta be persistent, and you also gotta just come in there knowing you have to take a few hits to get there and give yours. And we know Guerrero's the type of guy to do that, but we don't know how long he could last doing that, because you saw in the Berto fight, Berto doesn't really have the skills that Thurman has, and you know, they both got flaws. They both quick guys with good power and speed, but Thurman boxes, you know, he's more of an educated boxer. He could, you know, his IQ, his ring IQ is a lot higher than Berto. So I don't think he's gonna make some of the mistakes as far as doing that bullshit shoulder roll. I don't think he's gonna back up to the ropes too much voluntarily. And, you know, Thurman, his defense is better than Berto's. But even then, at the end of the day, Berto still landed some hellacious punches on Guerrero. Those uppercuts, every time I was turning around, he was landing some mean dragon punch type of fucking uppercuts on Guerrero. So we know Guerrero, you know, he's gonna take some punishment in this fight. But the thing is, with Berto, he was landing that shot, you know, once in a while. And you know, when you got heat coming at you and it's not consistent, you could brace for it a little more. You go in there, you know, okay, I'm gonna get hit with this bomb, but after that, I know dude's gonna shoot his load and he's gonna have to fight in spurts again. Thurman's a little more consistent than that, so you're gonna be taking far more, you know, bombs, you know, firepower from Thurman than you would a guy like Berto. So Guerrero has to watch out for that. The one thing, and another thing I don't really like about that Thurman does, sometimes when, the way I could say this is he has a little Nonito Donaire in him. And what I mean by that, and there's no slight, because I'm a Donaire fan, I'm gonna just call it how I see it. Sometimes Thurman, if he can't land his best shot on you consistently, he kind of just goes through the motions and just moves around aimlessly, and he'll outbox you, but it's not really effective outboxing you. Like, it's like he gets caught up in the power, not like a Jeff Lacey or how some people do, but I could see his overall boxing takes a hit when he can't really land effectively. Like, you notice in the Bundu fight, after the first round when he hurt dude and, you know, he was tagging dude early, he couldn't really just change it up enough to really put a real beating on Bundu. Like, Bundu's herky-jerky movements and experience allowed him to stay in that fight longer than he should have. I thought Thurman could have got him out of there or really made it worse. Like, the fight kind of sucked. Now, when you compare that to how Thurman looked against that Zavik dude, I think it was on the undercard of Hopkins Cloud. It was a fight from a little while back, but that went the distance. This is the same guy that Berto beat, but it was, I think, stopped on cuts right when the fight was getting fucking good. Thurman was able to land consistently on that guy, but the dude had the chin to take it. So Thurman really didn't falter off. But against Bundu, I really noticed how it's like he seemed uncomfortable with the guy staying there for that long and him not really getting his shots off. And you know how Donaire has that in him where the athletic power, the speed, everything, it's like he wants to force those hard shots so much. He just doesn't take his time and consistently steady work rate try to just get you down, you know, beat you down. So I don't know, that might be just a bad night on Thurman, but I could see him being, evolving into one of those type of cats where he doesn't know really what to do if he can't find you consistently with his power. You know, if you could take his power and he could keep hitting you, he's gonna just beat your ass all night. But if you got some defensive awareness, you could survive. You know, I feel like you could really jump on a guy like Thurman late. But, you know, I could be wrong. You know, we don't know the fights until they fight them. You know what I mean? You know, this is just hearsay. You know, we just looking at the situation. But as far as this fight, I think it's going to be a decent fight. I think Thurman is just the overall better athlete, better boxer, better power, speed. But Guerrero can make it tough. He has experience. He has the chin to really compete. But Guerrero's defensive liabilities, he's just in there. He's going to take some punishment in this fight. I would like for Thurman to be the first guy to stop Guerrero, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But I could see Thurman outclassing him over the distance and maybe dropping him a few good times. I could definitely see that happen. So with my prediction, I'm going to say Thurman by clean, decision. Maybe like 117, 111 type, or 118, 110. And really just win off the just effective power punching. Thurman's a boxer puncher. Guerrero, he's more of a boxer swarmer. He plays into Thurman's range, his game plan. So I'm gonna just go with that. Thurman by dominant decision, some knockdowns. Guerrero gonna look good a couple rounds, but at the end of the day, he's gonna get his ass whooped. Swag Science, Hood All Stars, 1.